Now, Jesse, he was just a bomb, man. He was super talented. He used to write his own music. He had a guitar, he used to play. He used to sing to me. We used to chill and hang out every single day. No joke. We used to chill out from around lunchtime because I used to finish work and then he would ring me up and he'd be like, "Hey, Clara, how are you feeling? How was work? Do you feel like, hanging out today?" He would always be considerate and ring and ask me how I was feeling because he understood that sometimes when you finish work, you're too tired, you don't want to go out, you know what I mean? But he would ring religiously every single day, 7 days a week. "Hey, Clara, how you feeling? Do you feel like company today?" Blah, 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 blah. And of course, I always said yes. Like, I never said no. I was in the mood. I was going through a real good time at that point in time in my life. And me and him, we'd sit, we'd smoke weed, and we'd talk and, we'd listen to music and we'd laugh and muck around. And he was just a real down to earth, cool, laid back type of a fellow. And I also became close friends with Ant, and his real name was Anthony, and he was a Native American Indian bloke that lived downstairs from him. And sometimes we would hang out with him as well. So it would be me, him, and I've gotten to know him as well, and gotten to know his other best friend, Jangus, and I've gotten to know him just very briefly. And then Jody, my female friend at the time, who I thought was a friend, obviously wasn't a friend, she, I don't know, became transfixed with Jessie over a period of time, but she kept that a secret. Oh, she kept that all to herself until one day she decided to just let it show unexpectedly because it was me. We're in Jesse's bedroom, okay, and he has a two-seater leather couch, a black one, and I'm sitting there and she's sitting practically right next to me, and Jesse, he's sitting on his bed, okay, and we're yapping and he's passed a bong over to me and I ripped a cone and I passed it back to him and we're yapping and we're laughing. It was just me and him talking, okay, and she was just stone quiet. She wouldn't talk much. And, and I looked over at her and I noticed something wasn't quite right, but I couldn't put my finger on it at the time. She just kept staring at him and I'm thinking, okay. And this was about a month and a half into me and Jessie getting to know each other. And we were real chummy, right? And obviously she was getting, cheese. She was getting pissed off and jealous about it. And all of a sudden she decided to launch up from where she was sitting and jump on him and pash him right on the mouth. And he freaked. And his natural reaction was he pushed her hard and fast away from him. And she ended up falling and slipping into the cabinet. And she hit her back into the cabinet. And she hurt herself. And I snapped at him for doing that. But I sort of understood why he did that. So, and she got up and he just told her straight out the cold hard truth and she couldn't handle it. So she got upset. He practically told her, "Look, I'm not interested in you in that way. I'm only interested in Clara and getting to know her. I only like you strictly as a friend, nothing more." She started crying. He chased out after her, so did I. We all went running out there and then she's crying like a fucking maniac, kicking and bashing Jesse's best friend's front door, begging him to come out and love her. And it was just an embarrassing situation. She embarrassed the fuck out of herself. We're trying to calm her down. She's not listening to me or to Jessie. Both of us are trying to calm her down. No, it didn't work. She was just utterly obsessed. And, of course, the rejection, she just went ape shit with the rejection. She couldn't handle it, could she? So she embarrassed the fuck out of herself. Jangus wouldn't answer the door, no matter how many times she was bashing on it. He didn't open the door to her. She eventually gave up and walked away. Didn't speak to her for nearly 3 or 4 weeks thereafter, and during that time it was just me and Jessie every day, 7 days a week. Used to hang out with him till around midnight, 1 a.m. He would walk me home, because I used to live in Elstonweek and he lived in Elstonweek as well. So we both lived close to each other within walking distance. That's why we were able to hang out every single day. It was just absolute bliss and I enjoyed his company and we had so much fun. We used to go singing down the street together. Oh, it was funny. I remember that day. Oh, we were so bored that day. We had no money and we thought, oh, fuck it, let's go out, let's go. We walked all the way from where we were to Chapel Street. And we're singing all of our favourite songs. We're singing out loud. It was me, Anthony, and, of course, Jesse James. He loved being called that. And, we'd sing, and we were all locked in arms, skipping down the street, singing. And those were the days, man. And I remembered Anthony's like, oh, Ant. We called him Ant for short. And he's like, oh, let's go and have a sausage sizzle and, end up having a sausage sizzle. And it was just great fun. You know what I mean? Like, I absolutely adored, James, and, he was just a fucking down to earth fella. He was very smart, highly intelligent, and yeah, what more can I say? Me and him were getting closer and closer until one day, behind my back, when I wasn't there was a day where I couldn't see him because I wasn't feeling well. And he did call me, and I said, I'm sorry, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm just not feeling well. I'm not in the mood to go out anywhere today. He's like, oh, okay, no worries. So instead, he hung out with Jodie, which I didn't mind, strictly as a friend. And she decides to go and open her big, fat, juicy mouth to him and tell him a bullshit story that I was in love with him or some shit. And I'm thinking, that's none of your business, darling. I'm slowly getting to know him. And yes, feelings were developing, but I was going to tell him when it suited me. She decided to jump in and go and tell him when it wasn't warranted. It's none of her fucking business. He goes and questions me the next day when I go and see him, and I'm like, no, that's not exactly true. I said, yes, I am developing feelings, but I was going to tell you she's ruined it for me. She ruined the moment. Who does that, She did it on purpose, hoping that he would, reject me, kick me to the curb. It didn't work. No, she tried everything. But what did ruin it and what did work was she tried to drive a wedge between Jangus and him. She would spread rumours, nasty rumours about me behind my back to Jesse. And, and she would tell Jangus, and then Jangus would go and tell who is Jesse going to believe? Is he going to believe me that he's only known for just under 5 months, all up in total? Or is he going to believe his best mate of 5+ years? Of course he's going to believe his best mate. He's going to put his best mate first. And then those two ended up having a very bad, violent, borderline fight, and Jodie was involved. And he packed his bags in the heat of the moment because he was fed up, and he fled, and he decided to go back to Croydon and go back to his mum's house. And that he just left. He didn't say goodbye or anything because it was very late at night, and I understood he couldn't bring me up to tell me. But he left because of those two. All the drama that they were causing behind my back when I wasn't able to see him. And there was a couple of times when I wasn't able to. So they took the advantage of that situation and twisted things, added lies, bullshit stories. Like Jessie would come to me and say, oh, isn't this natural? And I'm like, no. I said, who told you? And she goes, oh, Jodie. I'm thinking, what the fuck? So I go and approach her and I'm like, why are you saying all this bullshit? I say, you want Jesse, don't you? It's very loud and clear you want him. He's not interested in you. How many times has he told you? He's told you to your face in front of me. He's not interested in you in that way. No, she didn't care. She wanted him all to herself, and she didn't care who she wanted to hurt to get, you know what I mean? So she ruined everything. She broke up the friendship between Jangus and Jesse and the potential bond between me and Jesse. It's just fucked up. And then, a couple of years later, I get involved with my ex, and fucking he's an idiot. But yet still, you guys get the gist. Don't you hate it when people get jealous and they want to ruin potential connections? They just want to drive a hardcore wedge, And it wasn't only that. Jesse had other reasons that built up during the 6-month period. There was this idiot, we nicknamed him Jesus, mind you, Jesus. He even looked like him. He lived right across in the same sort of area, but he lived right across. And he used to come over half naked all the time, begging for money, begging for cigarettes, begging for teleho papers. And it annoyed Jesse. He wouldn't answer the door most of the time. And he goes, look, I'm fed up with people around here asking me for money, for cigarettes all the fucking time, and cups of sugar, you name it. He was just totally and utterly sick of everyone in the area where he lived, and he just had to go. And I don't blame him. And I always think about him from time to time, especially on his birthday. His birthday's on the 6th of December. He's a Sagittarius. So I think about him every time it's his birthday. I always say, happy birthday, Jesse, in my mind, wondering that, I'm hoping he's settled down. He's had kids now. I hope he's okay. And I always think of him from time to time. Yeah, so there you go. That's the story of me and Jesse James.